Welcome into another episode of the Fantasy Football Show. It is November the 12th, 2020. How are we feeling today on this fine Thursday, ladies and gentlemen?
Ecstatic. I'm so ready. Yeah.
I'm so excited, dude. I could not be more hyped.
Yes.
Bro, I'm hungry.
I'm
Such a
hungry.
happy day. Happy days, happy days. Yo, we got a great podcast coming for you guys. We're gonna hop into some news and notes. We're gonna do some buy sell. We're gonna go through the matchups this week, our own matchups, and we're gonna give you guys some starts of the week. It's gonna be a great show. So we're gonna hop into some news and notes right off the rip. So first off, McCaffrey, bad news. He went and got a second opinion on his shoulder today, I think, and it is week to week. Now it was day to day. And they said he, quote, has a realistic chance to play next week. So hopefully he gets healthy again. He's a beast, so love to see him back on the field. Baker got activated off of the COVID-19 reserve list. Kenyon Drake is back at practice. He practiced on Wednesday and today. David Johnson did not practice on Wednesday and Thursday. His status is, quote, up in the air from the head coach and unlikely that he will play this week. So it's looking like Duke Johnson, not David Johnson, will be the lead back for the Texans. Chris Carson's status is going to be decided later in the week. He's looking he started running at practice on Wednesday. He's looking like he might play. He has a better chance than Carlos Hyde, they said. Raheem Mostert, running back 49ers, has not played a lot this year. He was hoping to get back and playing this weekend, but Kyle Shanahan said no. He just straight up was like, yeah, we're ruling him out this week. And he was wanting to play. And I think they go on bye after this game, so he'll have a lot of time to rest up and really get completely healthy. Antonio Gibson, he's a full participant at practice today. It was a shoulder injury. We'll talk about him later. Nick Chubb, back at practice Thursday without a brace. Zach's got to be hyped, huh?
Absolutely am. You can tell.
Heck yeah.
My running backs, man. Finally.
Alshon Jeffrey, he has not played once this year. He's a full participant at practice on Wednesday. So the Philadelphia Eagles are starting to reload again. Zach Ertz is about to get healthy soon. Jalen Reagor played last week. The Eagles are reloading. No Deebo Samuel at practice today, so it's looking like another week without the 49ers lead wide receiver. So Brandon Ayuk is going to be in for another great game. Noah Fant just came through that he practiced in full today. So he came out with an ankle injury. The Broncos tight ends are a little unhealthy so far this year. But Noah Fant, if he plays, I think he's a great play this week. All right. So I think that was it for the news and notes. So we're going to hop into some buy sell. I'm going to give you guys a player and a stat line that they should reach. And you either buy that they get that or higher, or they sell that they get that or lower. All right. We'll go over the results next podcast. So this is going to have a Thursday night football theme, as there is a game tonight between the Titans and the Colts. So Ryan Tannehill, he is the quarterback 9 on the season. His last 3 weeks, he's been QB 16, 14, and 20. He's projected to be quarterback 24 this week. The Colts have a great defense. They're second against quarterbacks and fantasy points given up. Do you buy or sell that he finishes the week as a top 15 quarterback?
Sell.
Boyer
finishes this week. This week. Just this game.
Sell.
Any reasoning, Boyer?
Colts just have a really good defense.
That's a great argument. I completely agree.
I haven't really seen any quarterbacks go off against the Colts.
Yeah, I am also on the sell side of this.
I don't think he falls all the way below 15 after this game. Hold on, give me a second. Colts are in fact they give up the least amount of points to quarterbacks.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
But I don't think he falls out of the 15, but he's definitely going to have a poor game, 100%.
So you buy that he's a top 15 quarterback?
I think he's a top 15
So
quarterback.
there's
for sure.
multiple aspects in here why they have given up the least fantasy points to QBs. The Colts teams they've played is Jacksonville, Gardner Minshew, Minnesota, New York Jets, Chicago Bears, Cleveland Browns, Cincinnati, Detroit, and Baltimore. And Lamar Jackson is not playing great. So all around, besides Matthew Stafford, they've been playing some kind of QBs.
Right. Yeah.
So, I mean, I say he's going to finish pretty solid this week. I
Top
think
15?
the Colts are going to give one up, and he's going to do solid.
I like that.
Yeah. He's going to be top 15 this week. I'm buying that.
We buy.
Bye,
All
gang.
Right, so
Bye,
me
gang.
and Boyer are on the sell. I kind of think this defense is really good despite their super easy schedule. The second half of the year, they have one of the toughest schedules. But I think that this game is going to be some grounding and some pounding between these two teams. Ryan Tannehill will throw a touchdown or two maybe, but I don't know. I feel like this year a lot of really good performances from quarterbacks has been happening. Like it takes more than just 3 touchdowns to be a top 12 quarterback. So hopefully he can sneak into that top 15. All right. So moving on to the next stat line, we got Derrick Henry. He's the current RB3 on the season. He's projected to be the RB9 with 16.2 fantasy points on PPR. Faces the second best defense against fantasy running backs in the Indianapolis Colts. His last 3 rushing outputs have been against the Pittsburgh Steelers, 75 yards, the Bengals, 112 yards, the Bears, 68 yards. Do you buy or sell that Derrick Henry gets more or less than 79.5? So 80 or higher.
80 yards or higher?
So 80 or higher is buy. You sell 79 or lower.
I'm going with more than 80 yards. I buy that.
Zach,
I think it's going to be really close to 80. I think he'll get over it, but not by much.
It's going to be he's going to get over 80, but I don't think his average is going to be that great. They're going to try to pound it with him, but he's going to get stopped 1 yard or 2 yarders, none. And then he's going to break through and get like a 50 or 60 yarder that just gets him over it. Yeah. But, I mean, that comes to the same point why I think Tannehill's going to do great because you're trying to play against this offense and you're going to just stop Derrick Henry. Mm-hmm. That's your whole plan.
Yeah.
And he just slides through. I mean, that's what's happened with Derrick Henry all this year. He's been getting the ball a million times, and the defenses against him are just shut down.
Yeah, I think he's going to get his 20 to 25 carries a game that he's getting, and I think he's going to have over 100.
All right. So I originally said buy, but I mean, all 4 of you guys have bought, so I'm going to hit sell. I gotta be different. I'm going to sell because of what Brandon said. He could break that one, but I think it'll be a lot of short games. I think this game's going to be really entertaining to watch. It might be kind of slow at times with a low-scoring game, but yeah, I don't know. I'm going to sell. I'm going to go below 80. All right, so the last buy-sell, we got A.J. Brown, wide receiver 22 on the season. He's the projected wide receiver 15 on the week with 14.7 fantasy points. The Colts, again, 8th best against fantasy wide receivers. Since his comeback in week 5, he's averaged 18.8 fantasy points a game, which is wide receiver 2 since week 5 in a per-game basis. He's the wide receiver 6 in fantasy points per game overall. Do you buy or sell that he finishes the week wide receiver 12 or higher? So a wide receiver 1 performance.
I don't know. I feel like he's gonna get like 6 receptions for 80 some yards, but no touchdown. So I don't know. I think it'll be close. I think he's gonna not make it by barely, by like a point or 2.
I think he'll have a decent game, but I don't think he's going to be top 12 this week. So I'm
Yeah.
selling on that.
I think the way to win is spreading the ball out. That's the only way they're gonna do it against the Colts defense.
Yeah, I gotta sell it too. They have way too many ball hawks for wide receivers to have good games.
Yeah, I feel like wide receiver 12 is a bit high of a line.
Yeah.
I originally said buy, and I'll stick with it, especially with all four of you selling. I mean, this is going to be a good game. I think that he could break one open like he has done in literally every game that he's came back in. He has 6 touchdowns in 5 games. He could go for another one. So moving on, we're going to start breaking down the games for this week 9. So first off, this Thursday night game between the Colts and Titans. We've been talking about it. I think Tennessee wins this game. What are your picks for this game to win between the two teams?
I'm on your side with that one, Tennessee.
Tennessee.
I'm
I
going to
think
have
it's
to agree with tennis. Oh, sorry, Zach.
I was just gonna say that I think they're like very similar teams in how they run and how their defense plays. But at the end of the day, the Titans' offense is just so much better in
I just
comparison.
don't like Phillip Rivers, so I just want him to lose.
Mm-hmm.
Tennessee, 31, Colts, 17.
Okay, you got a score, huh? Bruce, you said Tennessee as well.
Yeah, I'm going to go with Tennessee. I mean, I've just been going with the Tennessee players are going to do good other than the A.J. Brown one. But so I guess I'm gonna stick with that and say they have a good game all around the ball and they pull out a win.
Yeah,
I think it'll be a close one, though. I don't think it'll be a blowout or anything.
Yeah, I also picked Tennessee purely because Phillip Rivers. I do not trust Phillip Rivers at all.
As you shouldn't.
If I was the Colts, I would not have paid him $20+ million to be my quarterback for 4 mediocre years. Reminder: get your Thursday players out of the flex so you can maintain that flexibility. But anyway, breaking down quarterbacks. Like I said, not a fan of Phillip Rivers. The only way you have Phillip Rivers is if you're streaming or if you're in a 2-quarterback league, and this is not the matchup. I mean, it is a good matchup because Tennessee is, I think, bottom half against quarterbacks and points given up. They're 22nd. It's a good matchup, but I do not like Phillip Rivers. Tannehill and the rest of Tennessee has a tough matchup again. If Tannehill is your quarterback, I mean, he's been pretty good the whole year, but this is not the matchup. Running backs, Derrick Henry's a beast. We all know that. So you're starting him. Bruce is starting him for sure.
Oh, yeah.
The Colts backfield is super
Weird.
difficult to break down and understand right now. It's like they want Jonathan Taylor to be the lead back. Like the past 2 weeks, he's had poor games, but going into the games, they've given him every touch until he messes up. Like this past week, he had I think 6 straight carries, and then he fumbled, and then he only got 1 carry the rest of the game. So it's just one of those things. Wilkins over Hines, I think, despite Hines having the receiving work, but Wilkins benefits whenever Taylor messes up. How do you guys rank the 3?
I'm a big Naheem Hines fan, honestly.
Mm-hmm.
I'm a sucker for dual backs, so I think Jonathan Taylor's number 1 for sure, and he should be, or else the Colts are just ruining his future. But
yeah,
I agree with that.
I agree with Zach on that one. I think that's a good way to look at the backfield, and that is how it is.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, Hines has that PPR upside.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Moving on to wide receivers.
Yeah. Man, I'll drink chocolate milk. You got stuck, all right?
T.Y. Hilton, he is back, but it does not matter. I think he's wide receiver 92 on the year.
Which he's probably going to stay at.
Hey, he hasn't had a touchdown since week 7
of
2019. It's a great matchup against Tennessee. They're 31st against wide receivers in points given up in PPR. but I'm not starting any of these guys. It just doesn't matter to me. AJ Brown, he's been really good. We talked about that. Corey Davis, he broke out 2 weeks ago and then scored 0 last week. Bruce, you've been the big Corey Davis fan out of all of us. What is your expectation for him this game and rest of season?
Okay, I know he's had his one bad game, but like comparing that to all of his other games, he's done pretty well. And he's averaging a good amount of points if you take out that 0. He's just missed how many games did he miss? Like 4?
I don't know. I don't have it right here.
It's something like that. And I really think that he's going to have a bounce back game this week along with the rest of the Titans. I mean, I've been going for them the whole time, so I think that Corey Davis is going to have a good one.
Oh, I didn't even notice the timer.
Yeah, you're going to add time.
I don't know what that is.
I think if you go to more, you could add time, but I'm not too sure.
I don't know where more is. All right. Resuming Corey Davis talk, last week when he dropped 0 was against Chicago, good defense.
Yeah.
So something to keep in mind, especially with the Colts also having a great defense. Tight ends. The Colts have 3 tight ends. I think Doyle is out for this game, but none of them really matter for our league and anything like that. Jonas Smith has been real bad as of late, and it's a bad matchup. Yeah, I mean, he hasn't been the tight end that he was early on in the season. Any other thoughts on that or this game?
I think that's also partly because of A.J. Brown and Corey Davis, because the games that he did good, one or both weren't playing.
Right.
So
I agree with that.
it's disappointing that I didn't realize that when I had him.
Yeah.